Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to A Different Opinion. I hope everyone has had a lovely weekend so far, actually. Just watched the UFC today. Great fights, and watched a bit of NRL. So I'm not sure if anyone knows what the NRL is in America, but it's a bit of rugby league. And my team got a win as well, so I'll take that as a bonus. But this one here is very, very worrying, right? Now, this one here just makes me sick to the gut. As a new study has found, this is only from 10 minutes ago, from the golfinsider.com, and obviously this is confirmed. There's been a lot of different articles on this by even legacy media itself, but obviously not the main ones as they're trying to hide this. But bit of a longer video than usual, but definitely worth a watch. I mean, it's just to see if these people purposely lied on these studies, which everything is based on. It just makes me sick to my damn stomach, and they should just really be held accountable. Watch this video to see what they actually did do and decide for yourself. 2 decades of Alzheimer's research based on lies wasted millions of dollars and lives. Apparently, it was 2 scientists that have lied about a lot of research on Alzheimer's, which I mean has cost. I love how, wasted millions of dollars comes first before lives. Doesn't that just show you where we are as a current world, where the dollars comes before lives? It should be lives and dollars, in my opinion, anyway. So before we jump into this annoying, worrisome one, please subscribe to the channel if you do want to watch my videos, as a lot of them don't get into the algorithm because I do say some things that obviously they might not agree with. So it doesn't really get into the algorithm as much. And also we hit over 205 subscribers now, which is insane. Thank you very much for the support if you are subscribed. Great to have you along. And then also just like the videos that you like. Also dislike the ones you dislike. I also would love to see that. And then also comment your thoughts as well in the comments, please. I have not read this yet as well. I've only seen a headline that my friend sent me about this. So this is the first time I'll be reading this as well. So last month, drug company Genentech reported on the first clinical trials for the drug crenezumab, a drug targeting amyloid proteins from sticky plaques in the brain of Alzheimer's disease patients. The drug had been particularly effective in animal models, and the trial results were eagerly awaited as one of the most promising treatments in years. It did not work. Crenezumab did not slow or prevent cognitive decline in people predispositioned towards Alzheimer's. Last year, the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) narrowly approved the use of Aduhelm, a new drug from Biogen that the company has priced so highly that it's expected to drive up the price of Medicare for everyone in America, even those who never need this drug. Aduhelm was the first drug to be approved that fights the accumulation of those amyloid plaques in the brain. What makes the approval of the $56,000 a dose drug so controversial is that while it does decrease plaques, it doesn't actually slow Alzheimer's. In fact, clinical trials were suspended in 2019 after the treatment showed no clinical benefits, which did not keep Biogen from seeking the drug approval or pricing it astronomically. This is the thing that annoys me, right? With the drug administration in every Western nation country, they just make the drugs that are supposed to save people's lives unaffordable. So we're lucky here in Australia. I mean, a lot of it is paid by the government. Our Medicare system is pretty much Medicare for all. So if you are a citizen, even if you're not a citizen, you can get free medical care here. Same in New Zealand. But the thing is, not in America, right? But the thing is, the cost of drugs is just insane. And I mean, either the government's paying for it or you are paying for it. So these companies just there should be a limit on the amount of percentage you can charge on top of what it actually costs to make. You should not be able to charge $2,000 for something that costs you $20 to make. It is just insane that they're allowed to do this. Over the last 2 decades, Alzheimer drugs has been notably mostly for having 99% failure rate in human trials. It's not usual for drugs that are effective in vitro and in animal models to turn out to be less than successful when used in humans. But Alzheimer's has a record that makes the battling average in other areas look like Hall of Fame material. And now we have a good idea of why. Because it looks like the original paper that established the amyloid plaque model as the foundation of Alzheimer's research over the last 16 years might not just be wrong, but a deliberate fraud. I almost feel if they do find these people guilty of actually purposely making it fraud, they should be locked up for life. The amount of people that have been affected by this and the amount of money that's gone into it, people have this hope that they're getting help from this drug that is apparently from correct studies, and it's not helping them at all. The suspicion that something was more than a little wrong with the model that is getting almost all Alzheimer's research funding, $1.6 billion last year alone, began with a fight over the drug simufilum. The drug was being pushed into trials by its manufacturer, Cassava Sciences, but a group of scientists who reviewed the drug maker's claim about simufilum believed that it was exaggerating the potential. So they did what a reasonably person would do. They purchased short sell positions in Cassava Science stock, filed a letter with the FBI calling for a review before allowing the drug to go to trial, and hired an investigator to provide some support for this position. As Science reports, it was that investigator, Vanderbilt University neuroscientist, a junior professor, Matthew Schrag, who tipped over the whole apple cart to discover that it wasn't just that Cassava's drug was ineffective. There's good evidence that for the last 16 years, almost everyone has had the wrong idea about the cause of Alzheimer's because of fraud. In 2006, Nature publisher, a paper titled A Specific Amyloid B Protein Assembly in the Brain Impairs Memory. Using a series of studies in mice, the paper concluded that memory deficits in middle-aged mice were a directed cause by accumulations of a soluble substance called AB56. This was a specific form of a group known as a toxic oligomers that had long been suspected as the possible persecutors of amyloid plaques. The paper then went on to connect the condition to cognitive deficits associated with Alzheimer's disease, independently of other conditions affecting the aging brain. The study didn't come out of nowhere. It only seemed to confirm one of the several hypotheses about the Alzheimer's that had been circulating for many years by that point. After all, the brain's Alzheimer's patients do contain plaques that can sometimes seriously alter the structure of the brain. Those plaques do contain amyloids. It's not much of a stretch to suggest these amyloids are a primary cause of the associated memory loss and dementia. Amyloids cause plaques cause damage, the damage causes Alzheimer's. That 2006 paper was primarily authored by neuroscience professor Sylvain Lesnay. Remember that name, Sylvain Lesnay, and given more weight by the name of a well-respected neuroscientist, Karen Ash. Remember that name as well. Both from the robust neuroscience research team at the University of Minnesota. Of course, it's Minnesota. It was Ash who produced the transgenic mice used in the study, which generally do appear to have Alzheimer's-like symptoms, and that have since been used to be favored animal models for generational treatment. On her website, Ash called AB56 the first substance ever identified in brain tissue in Alzheimer's research that has been shown to cause memory impairment. The result of the study seemed to demonstrate the amyloids to Alzheimer's pipeline with the clarity that even the most casual reader could understand, and it became one of, if not the most influential papers in all of Alzheimer's research. Not only has it been cited hundreds of times in other work, roughly 100 out of the 130 Alzheimer's drugs now working their way through trials are directly designed to attack the kind of amyloids featured in this damn paper. Both Ash and Lesnay became neuroscience rock stars, the leaders of the wave based on their 2006 paper. And I bet they loved the damn attention, didn't they? So what intrigued Schrag, which is the investigator, when he came back to the seminal work were the images. Images in the paper were supposed to show the relationship between memory issues and presence of AB56 appeared to have been altered. Some of them appeared to have been pieced together from multiple images. Schrag shied away from actually accusing this foundational paper of being a fraud, but he definitely raised red flags. He raised their concerns discreetly at first in a letter sent directly to the National Institute of Health. Only when that letter failed to generate a response did Schrag bring his suspicions to others. You know, obviously, if this is found out to be fraud on purpose, the amount of people that have been affected, their lives been affected by people with this, I mean, are not going to be happy. It's going to be horrible. Now, Science has concluded its own 6-month review, during which it consulted with image experts that they found seemed to confirm Schrag's suspicions. They concurred with his overall conclusion, which cast doubt on hundreds of images, including more than 70 in Lisney's papers. Some look like shockingly blatant examples of image tampering, says Donna Wilcock, an Alzheimer's expert at the University of Kentucky. After reviewing the images, molecular biologist Elizabeth Bick said the paper, the obtained experiments results might not have been the desired results, and that data might have been changed to better fit a hypothesis. Should this fraud turn out to be extensive, as it appears at first glance, the implications go well beyond just misdirecting tens of billions in funding. I don't care. The millions of people that thinking they're getting help because of the study did not get help because of the study. They should be held accountable, in my damn opinion. Tens of billions in funding and millions of hours of research over the last 2 decades. I mean, there's probably people that have been giving their lives to researching this as well, and they've been doing it for no reason, off the basis of altered images. Since their 2006 publication, the presence of absence of this specific amyloid has often been treated as a diagnostic of Alzheimer's, meaning that patients who did die from Alzheimer's may have been misdiagnosed as having something else. Those whose dementia came from other causes may have falsely been dragged under the Alzheimer's umbrella. And every possible kind of study, whether it's as exotic as light therapy or long-running as nuns doing crossword puzzles, may have ultimately had results that were measured against a false yardstick. It is absolutely disgusting. Like, if this is for real, these people, yeah, just the sickest of sick, in my opinion. In the face of potential fraud unearthed by Schrag, it's not as if the world has changed overnight. 4 months after Schrag submitted his concerns to the NIH turned around and awarded Lesney a 5-year grant to study Alzheimer's. So Lesney, obviously the first person that brought this up, right? So Lesney was obviously the original author of finding the study, right? That grant was awarded by Austin Yang, Program Director of the NIH's National Institute on Aging. Also happened to be another of the co-authors on the 2006 paper. Wow, wow, wow. The plot bloody thickens, doesn't it? Science has carefully detailed the work done in the analyses of the image. Other researchers, including a 2008 paper from Harvard, have noted the AB56 is unstable and there seems to be no signs of this substance in human tissues, making its targeting literally worse than useless. However, Lesney claims to have a method for measuring AB56 and other oligomers in brain cells that has served as the basis of a series of additional papers, all of which are now in doubt. Lesney, Yang, I hope you guys are stressing. There seems to be no doubt that the oligomers may play a role in cognitive impairment. However, that role may not be nearly as direct or as significant as the 2006 paper and subsequent papers by Lesney have suggested. It's quite possible that the specific oligomer AB56 may not even exist outside Ash's transgenic mice, and it seems highly likely that for the last 16 years, most research on Alzheimer's and most new drugs entering trials have been based on the paper that at best modified the results of its findings to make them appear more conclusive, and at worst is an outright damn bloody fraud, isn't it? For me, I know people that have been personally affected by Alzheimer's, and this just disgusts me. Scientists that do these type of things, that lie on papers, I mean, alter things, to me is the lowest of low. But the amount of millions of people that they have caused heartache because of their lies, the amount of people that have studied this, wasted so much of their life studying on the wrong things, and then also getting funding from the NIH, who was also a co-author on the original paper, which was based on possible fraud. We shall see what happens with the case. I'm just very glad that they brought this man on. Matthew Schrag, the man, junior professor from the Vanderbilt University, neuroscientist. Well done, sir, for finding this. I hope these people rot in hell, in my opinion. It is horrible, just because they wanted to be famous. And this is the worst thing, right? People lie and cheat and fraud just to live up, to be a famous scientist, be a famous person, people step on others, affect their lives. We obviously need less and less people like this in the medical system, in the whole damn world. We need less and less people like this. And to all the people that have been affected by this, I hope you guys can see this. I'll digress. Thank you for watching again. Please subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Comment with your thoughts. Let me know what you think about these people. What do you think the punishment should be is really what I want to know. And then also like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I shall see you on the next video.